Hello the bikers! Today we are diving deep into safety with a complete test of the Helite Off-Road Airbag. After 4,000 kilometers of trails and a few falls, I'm telling you everything. The pro, the cons, and whether this airbag is really worth the investment. Before we talk about the product, let's head to the Helite workshops in France. It's great to see local manufacturing and the passion of the team. The world of motorcycle rally is evolving, and so is safety. Airbags are becoming indispensable, and personally I'm 100% in favor. So what does this Helite Off-Road Airbag actually delivers? The first mass market version released is based on prototypes and data collected from pro riders during the Dakar Rally of 2020, 2021 and 2022. The version I'm using is a 2024 model, and I've worn it off-road for about 4,000 kilometers with a few crashes, which I'll detail later. What about the protection of this airbag? Helite chooses to integrate high-quality passive protection to maximize rider safety and protect vital areas. So the Helite airbag is not only an airbag, but it's a protective vest as such, like a classic one, with on top some airbag, which means that if you crash at low speed, the airbag will not deploy, but you still have the classic safety protection on elbow, back and so on. A positive point is the detachable sleeves sold separately. So clearly it's practical that we can replace the sleeves alone. For the airbag part, the focus was on the optimal protection with a protection volume of 14 liters, ultra-fast inflation in 40 milliseconds, protection of vital areas such as neck, chest, abdomen, back and the spine. And Helite has what they call the turtle technology, which is reinforced back protection and better distribution of the impact force. So if we speak about the comfort of this vest, the vest was clearly designed for the extreme condition of the Dakar, where riders will ride for hours with significant temperature variation. The airbag vest worn under the rally jacket was therefore designed to meet these requirements. It's breathable, ultra-resistant and elastic, which means that it adapts perfectly to the body and the shape of the rider, but it stretches during inflation. There is also a back pocket for water bladder, so you can have a 3-liter storage in your back, which is very practical. In terms of weight, it's still a bit above 2 kilos. Since the weight is well distributed, when you wear it, you don't realize so much the weight. So airbags work with CO2 carriage. How does it work on this airbag? So this off-road vest is equipped with 2 independent 50cc cartridge, which means that you don't have to change the cartridge after the first inflation and can immediately get back to racing without wasting time. The electronic system of this airbag will automatically switch from one to the other cartridge. So when the airbag deploys, it will take about 2 minutes to self-deflate, so you have to do nothing, it will deflate alone, and it switches to the next cartridge. When you want to replace the cartridge, you will directly see which one has exploded because the cable that will ensure the explosion of the cartridge is detached from the cartridge. So visually you see which one has been used. And to replace it, it's very easy. You open the left or right small pocket at the back of the airbag and you will unscrew the cartridge and screw a new one. Very quick, very easy. So in terms of settings, which type of settings do we have on this airbag? This vest is really designed for off-road use only. Forget about using it on the street. It has 2 modes, the mode which is rally enduro and the mode which is adventure. In adventure mode, the airbag will deploy faster. The airbag is not connected, so forget about updates or setting up the airbag with your smartphone. Everything has to be done from one small button at the bottom right at the front of the vest. This may seem like an advantage when you're riding in the middle of the desert, not having to take out your smartphone to do any change on the setup. But let's be honest that on a daily basis, that's a significant drawback, especially since you cannot benefit from doing updates to the algorithm that will deploy the airbag yourself. To do an update, you need to go to a dealer. The dealer will connect it with a specific cable and do the updates. So what about the battery life? Helite says that it's up to 25 hours. Personally, even a very long day of riding from morning to late in the evening, I was still far away from an empty battery. So clearly you can hold a very, very big day without any problem. For the charging, on the other hand, that's quite a major negative point for me. In fact, there are 3 reasons that the charging is not the best, to my personal point of view. First, the charging cable in the airbag is difficult to access, so it's just beside one of the CO2 cartridge, but it's not well maintained there, so it can slide into out of that pocket and very difficult to get back. The second element, which is not very good for the charging, is that it's a non-standard charging port, so you cannot just take a USB-C cable and plug it into the airbag, which is really annoying. I had lost this cable myself when going to the Hill area, and I ended up not being able to charge the airbag. Luckily, I found another rider who shared the cable with me, but that would be much easier if it would be a standard cable that you could use on the vest. And the last point for the charging which is negative is that in the notice they say that we should not use fast charging. So it's a USB, classic USB charging port on the other side of the cable, but you cannot use a fast charger, which means that according to the manual, it can take up to 12 hours to charge. So once it has deployed, do we need to recondition the vest or not? We see that some brands, you have to send back the vest to the manufacturing company to change some part in it. Here, with regard to the Helite airbag, Helite says that it's supported for unlimited deployment, which is quite a good thing. But on the other hand, on the notice, they say as long as the bladder in the airbag are in good condition. So clearly I can visually inspect the bladder from outside. If the tissue is totally destroyed and I see the bladder under which is destroyed, okay, I see it. But if there would be a bladder that has a cut without having the tissue above being cut, I would not realize that the bladder is damaged. So due to this, Helite would recommend to send it at least once a year for a check. But this would cost you 99 euros. In terms of deployment, there are no cables, so you're not attached to the motorcycle. Everything is digital, so it's sensors, GPS, acceleration sensors, and so on in the vest that will, based on an algorithm, define if or not it should deploy. Over the last 4,000 kilometers I've been riding, I had no accidental deployment. Even during low speed falls, it did not deploy as it's supposed to. I only had one time where the airbag vest deployed over those 4,000 kilometers off-road, and clearly I was very glad I was wearing it because it was quite a hard crash at high speed. At the time the airbag deployed, I did not even realize it deployed. It's when I stood up from the ground that I felt that I was stiff, so it had done its job to protect my upper part of the body. So once it had inflated, took approximately 2 minutes to totally deflate, which, you know, gave me time to take back my mind and check the motorcycle to see if everything was good on the motorcycle, and then start again. So about the cleaning, that's another negative point for me of this vest. Unfortunately, you cannot remove all the electronics from the vest, which means that you cannot immerse the vest in water to give it a good wash. According to the manual, you should use a humid, soft cloth to clean it. The arms, you can unzip them, you could wash them, but the body part of the vest, it's very difficult to wash and it's really not convenient. So what about the price? So this vest works without subscription. So when you buy it, there is no additional monthly fee, because some other brands will have a monthly fee. The vest is delivered directly with 2 CO2 cartridge and costs 1,150 euros. Replacement cartridge will be 59 euros, which is quite cheap compared to the competitors, almost half price. We see that for Alpinstar or InEmotion carriage, we are at 99 euros. So clearly that's a major advantage on the Helite vest. In summary, the Helite Off-Road Airbag is an excellent product for its niche market. It has points to improve, but it remains a solid choice. It's clearly intended for 100% off-road use, which excludes it for many riders. If they improve the charging, the mode management with a smartphone app, and the ability to really wash it, it will be a perfect product for me. I hope this video has enlightened you. Don't hesitate to like, comment and subscribe for more off-road adventures.